We spent this summer in Montana, Wyoming, and South Dakota, so we didn't get back to Wisconsin until mid-September, which gave us only 41 days with family and friends, so we didn't do any videos during that time. We spent a lot of time with Mark's son and his family, my daughter and her family, along with my mom. But we also caught up with friends, including friends from the past.
By far my longest term friend since 1968 when we met in high school has been Tom. He's in the hat on the right-hand side in this photo. When Tom finished high school, he became a professional laborer and he would moonlight as a rough and finish carpenter. And that was invaluable to me over the years when I built my first house. He just selflessly helped me weekend after weekend. Now, Tom lives in northern Wisconsin, so he wasn't able to come down and visit me personally, so he sent his brother Dave down, who lives in the area. But the real question here is why do we look like we're identical twins? So a couple days later, another one of Tom's brothers, Dan, stopped in to check up on us, and we appreciated that. I asked Dan, I said, hey, what's Tom doing to keep himself busy? Well, then we talked about the fact that one of Tom's favorite hobbies is to, even though he's 71 years old, to lift them 50-pound logs up and chop them into all little pieces like that. And when he runs out of wood to work with, thank God he has a storm that blows a bunch of trees down. So until we get to meet again in person before we hit the dust, I just want to say hi to you, Jan, and the dog, Lucky Pierre.
And then just like that, it was time for us to leave. By the end of October, we were heading south again, on to Kentucky, where we checked out Mammoth Cave, the Corvette Museum, and the Ark Encounter. 'Cause that's what we do. We're tourists. Ready to roll?
I'll have 2 hamburgers, large fries, and a chocolate shake with sprinkles.
All right, pull forward, please. So we just left Wisconsin a few days ago, actually, and we were in Indiana visiting some friends. And we're at a really nice park in Indiana. We're making our way down towards Florida, but our next stop is Cave City, Kentucky. We were only in Cave City for 3 nights, but we had a great location to see 2 places of interest. Right, another adventure day. It's October 25th. We are in Cave City, Kentucky, and it is cold out here. Actually, it was like about 37 when I got up. It's up to about 49 right now. So anyways, we are heading out to Mammoth Cave National Park. Oh, look who showed up.
So, Sue...
Look at him, he's all ready. Got his light on.
Sue, why don't you just stand there? I want folks to see that, how color coordinated you are. You have a nice sweater on, but check them shoes out.
Oh, yeah.
Matching shoes.
Today.
Well, we're going to really be off our game today because we don't really know what to do.
We're out of practice,
yeah,
basically.
I did remember to shut the water off.
All right, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and you can show folks the patented Mark Chandler plastic.
All right, you got to see this, I guess. Mark insists.
So when you're in a park like this that's got all sorts of people and connections and long runs, you're supposed to have anti-siphon connections on your hose so that the water doesn't go the wrong direction. And granted, it just goes, just a little bit, but you don't know how far the particles, the naughty particles, are traveling in there.
What naughty particles?
You know what I'm talking about.
This is fresh water.
Yeah, but they're hooked. A lot of times they're hooked up to people's flush lines in their black tanks. Now, we never leave ours hooked up. because if something would go wrong here and the black tank would start to be filling up while we're over at Walmart, that's not a good scenario. But that anti-siphon valve on some parks is just constantly always spitting. And sometimes it's a little spurt, and sometimes it's a giant deluge. So I just got to the habit that I always put a plastic bag on, and if you look under here, you'll see what I'm covering is my connections and my anti-siphon valves here. Yeah. So this way I don't take a bath every time I'm hanging around this thing.
Honey, you're a genius.
I know. Come on, Sue. We've got a lot of videoing to do.
So we bought our tickets online, and they didn't have any area to get our senior discount. So when we got to the check-in place, they told us to go to another counter to collect our discount. And she explained there was some glitch online that everybody was getting the discount. So they decided everybody pays full price. If you have the senior discount, they actually take you over to another counter. So that's what that was all about. I'm assuming it was just a temporary glitch.
We have lots of tours at lots of times, so we want to make sure that everybody's at the right spot at the right time. If so, my name is Rachel. I will be the lead guide.
First thing, our guide went through the requirements and safeguards of the tour. A lot of the things she talked about were what we would encounter on this 2-mile, 2-hour historic tour. And they wanted us to make the call on whether or not we thought we could do all that. The things she talked about were the 540 steps down and up throughout the cave. There are low ceilings we have to crouch through, including some crouching while going downstairs. There's a very tight area from the hips down, so we do have to touch the walls to get through that area. And then there's the 155-step tower up to get us up from the cave, and then back to the 70 steps to get us out of the cave.
So folks, before we leave from this spot, I want you to consider all of these things I've just described to you. Make sure that you are capable and comfortable of what we have ahead of us, especially the distance.
So, okay, we're in.
Quite a bit different than the Carlsbad one.
Why is that?
Well, the Carlsbad one, we were on our own.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
We'll
get a lot of good information though.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more about their tours, they actually offer 8 different tours. You can go to their website and get more information. We did the historic tour, and what's nice is they do give you a description of what it's about. They tell you the duration, the distance. They even show how difficult it will be. And they do range from easy, moderate, to one strenuous one that I saw. Our tour we took was actually the moderate. Ready?
I'm ready. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do this.
You will. Mammoth Cave National Park is the world's longest known cave system, with more than 400 miles of it explored, and the park estimates a potential for another 600 miles in its system. This tour was about the cultural history of the caves, sharing many stories of early cave explorers as they walked with only lantern light to guide them. In the earliest days of the 19th century, teams of enslaved Africans and African Americans labored here. They were extracting minerals from cave soil for the commercial production of gunpowder before and during the War of 1812. So you can imagine how valuable the minerals were for war. Commercial tours began almost immediately after the War of 1812 and continued through the Civil War. Mammoth Cave partially rescued at least 4 men from enslavement, in which they served as guides and explorers. One of these men was Stephen Bishop, who was mentioned a lot during the tour and given credit for discovering many miles of new cave passages.
That's the technique. The twist and backup technique.
There you go.
You call it the The T and B. Right. This is my kind of spelunking right here, hey?
Got your railings?
Yep. Well, they're smart. They put steam in this thing.
Oh my gosh. And as you can see, the ceiling is getting lower and the crouching has begun.
It looks like I'm really getting close as I'm going down. The fat man's misery. I've been used to that for years. Like just putting my socks on this morning with my shoes.
Oh my God.
I'm bent over, all the air's gone, and I'm going, oh my God, I got 2 more laces to do. I hope it's a successful one. Oh my God, I see thin people going through. You want to use mask, there's one thing I'm showing you. So this is the closest to spelunking we've ever gotten to. Yeah. I just don't want to spell it.
Absolutely. Super comfortable.
Well, you wore my loose underwear today.
Oh my God.
You wore underwear today?
Is this a bathroom?
Yes, they actually have wooden plumbing.
If needed.
All right, you're holding us up, mister.
That's the lowest place I ever went to the bathroom.
Yeah, I guess it is. We then entered an auditorium where we could sit down and got a little bit more history of this cave. And now we're making our way back up and out of the cave. Now we're heading up. We're not done yet. It was a good workout. Oh my God, it's getting more narrow. How many steps are we doing? Oh. Oh my gosh, it's flat. You made it. Mark finally gets to use his light. So now we're exiting the way we came in. This is the only part that we actually got to see twice, different angle. Go into the light, Mark, go into the light. So as we exit, we need to walk across a cleaning station to reduce the risk of transmitting white nose syndrome to help protect bats in other caves. All right, it's open water. So it is. Good. Did you survive it, Mark?
Well, I started out with 1, 2, 3 layers on, and now I got nothing on.
It was a workout. It was a good workout.
Yeah, certainly glad I put my deodorant on this morning.
Oh my God, me too. Woo. Mark, what are you sitting there for?
Well, obvious, if we're going that way, I got way ahead of you. And I've been here for minutes.
Oh, that
waiting.
is...
You don't believe me?
No.
Okay.
Mark, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Sue. Yeah, I'm waiting for one of the guides. They're going to come back. They wanted to take me down in the cavern and check out some structures and, give me my input on some of my engineering thoughts on everything.
Yeah.
No?
No. Mark, why are you sitting?
Okay, finally, I'll be honest.
Good.
I'm 69 and 4 months old. I'm 200 pounds. I'm not a spring chicken. And I don't want to have a heart attack because I like RVing.
Excellent reason and honest. Let's go. So our tour is over, and I have to say it was interesting. I don't know what it is about caves, but they are interesting.
Right.
And we saw just part of it. This was the historic tour.
Right.
So we learned a lot too.
So this cave tour is very different from ones we went on in the past.
It was, she gave us the spiel beforehand, what we're going to be getting into it. And I'm looking at Mark like, Are you going to be able to bend? Are you going to be able to do all this? It really wasn't as bad as what she played it up to be.
But it was strenuous
it was
enough that,
probably the most strenuous cave tour we've done, just because you did have to squeeze and crouch and
Right. Now, having said that, if you're in this area and you can easily go to this tour, I would say
do it. Yes,
but
do it.
If you've only got the stomach maybe for one cavern or one cave, and you're in the New Mexico area, to me, hands down,
Carlsbad Cavern, big time. That one is much bigger than this, although every cave, every cavern is pretty amazing. Uniquely their own thing, but...
Carlsbad, hands down.
But this was cool too.
Sorry, Mammoth.
No, this was cool too. I enjoyed it.
So I'd like to do the intro for this video, honey, that we're living the dream here, visiting the Honda Odyssey Museum. Oh, yeah, the Corvette Museum. So what else do you do on a rainy, dreary day in Bowling Green, Kentucky? You go visit this place. Now, I hope I don't look too much like a tourist. Like, for instance, if I went to the Mammoth Cave the day before. I mean, how stupid would that be, you know? Okay, so from what I remember, when you take delivery on your car here, you have to pay extra for it. But rather than pick it up at your dealership, the factory, which is like right across the street somewhere, which the tours are not open because of COVID, you can come here and pick your car up. So the people that are hovering around or sitting in these things are actually the new owners.
Mark, I'm guessing you want to try this classy restroom.
Yeah, kind of makes you want to go. It's like tickling my bladder. So this is a 1953 Corvette chassis 001, probably one of the first ones that came out. When you look at this, realize that right now in the year 2021, this is what engineers see when they're on their computer systems. They can turn off layers and they can actually see inside the different things that they want to see. But back in 1953, if they truly wanted to do that, they literally would have to saw a car like this apart to be able to do that. Now, that's not why this one was sawed apart. This was done for this display. But nonetheless, there are plenty of things that were done like this in the day to get a better feeling for clearances and things, like when you had to work on the engine and you wanted to see if wrenches could go in there. Look at the amount of room you had on this thing to work on it. Imagine the way it is right now. We were just looking at one of the convertibles there. In the convertible, you can't even see the engine because there's a giant heat shield above the engine so that the convertible top can store above it, and then the outer shell can cover that. Wow. So when I see Ford Thunderbirds like this, I'm not exactly sure of the year this happened to me, but when I worked at the gas station, Bill Maynard's standard U-Haul service, and I was working there, one of my first mistakes, maybe after the first 4 or 5 months working there, fortunately my boss liked me, but I sat in the seat after I had changed the oil with a screwdriver in my pocket and ripped the leather seats. Can you imagine that? Wow.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to do a tour at this time, but you can see how cool that would be.
I gotta be honest with you. My back is starting to hurt just looking at how you have to lay on the floor while you're... I mean, look at your back is way back here. You need to have an extension on each arm just to get to the steering wheel. Unbelievable. I've always liked saying the name of this engine, the Wankel. It's a Wankel engine. Rotary chambers that are exploding. You know? I always thought that was going to eventually make it someday. Once again, I was wrong. Sue was right.
Really? I didn't predict it.
Well, you're right with everything else. That hasn't made it yet. Probably never will.
This was an interesting display. In 2014, there was a sinkhole that opened under the floor here in the Sky Dome area of the museum. It happened around 5:39 a.m. Thank goodness no one was there, but there were motion sensors that alerted them. A portion of the floor collapsed because of the dissolving of that limestone in the ground underneath. 8 rare and one-of-a-kind Corvettes fell into the sinkhole, causing serious damage. The Corvettes were recovered from the sinkhole, and here's a pretty cool simulation of the sinkhole actually caving in. 5 of the cars were deemed beyond reasonable repair, and instead of being scrapped, the cars were kept in their damaged state and placed on an exhibit in the museum. The remaining 3 cars were restored and are also on display here. A little bit of their history right here, hopefully not to be repeated. And here we're back up front where they have the delivery area. And as you can see, one of the proud owners is leaving the building. Actually, that's one of the employees that's driving. The owner gets to drive once they're out of the building.
Feeling kind of down, honey. Well, everything was good until right before I left. Then I went to the bathroom, and when I went in there, all of the urinals were little miniature Honda Odysseys. And somehow
Oh my God, Mark.
I just feel less of a man now.
They're picking on you.
I was a little worried laying in bed last night, knowing that we were going to the Ark Encounter. The last few days, it's been raining literally around the clock. So I'm wondering if this is some type of an indicator of things to come. But then I cheered up this morning because if there's anywhere you want to be, it would be at the Ark.
So the parking lot is pretty big, and the Ark isn't that close, so they do have shuttle buses that will get you there. You can buy tickets online. We did not. We're actually going to purchase them right here.
Yeah, I drive one of these.
You drive one of these. Wow.
Wow.
This place is big.
This is impressive.
Well, look at that. We're going through the rainbow to the Ark. How's that for a presentation?
Wow. Now that's a boat.
It is a boat.
You know, Sue, in my next life, I want to experience what it's like. Rather than being an ugly guy, I want to be a beautiful woman. That's a big boat, honey.
It's a big boat. So here's Mark, you can tell. There's going to be a lot of engineering and design evaluation on this.
Well, I thought maybe it was a wood encased steel beam, you know, giving it stability, realizing that this has to be safe for the public in today's building standards. But it actually is all wood.
They really needed a lot of cages, and we're just on the second floor.
What the heck?
Got a short arm, honey. You'd have a smaller boat. It's all right.
Wouldn't have been able to fit all the animals in my boat. Well, the Chan man would have rather take the elevator down, but Sue likes to get a little walk in, and it's our chance to get a little bit last look at this place. Sue, where's the exit to get out of here? Oh, this is an enticement, eh?
So besides experiencing the Ark, you can also experience the animals. They've got a zoo here. You know, I do have to say this was a pretty cool experience, but the one thing I'm impressed with is the special effects they did all day long raining. How did they do that?
Yeah, watch, we're going to get back to the car and it'll be sunny.
Sunshine, yeah, good job, Ark Encounter. The seas are sort of calm, but the clouds are still dark. There it is. Oh my God, there's land. There's land. Turn around, we missed our land.